Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Joanna. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Financial Aid Welcome Week session. My name is Jordan, and I am the Student Service Specialist for the Financial Aid Department. And I'm also joined with a coworker as well. And that's Marilee, you see in the corner there.
Hello, everybody.
So today we're going to be going over a little bit of information. I'll do a little presentation toward the end about financial aid, just some general information that I'm sure a lot of you would love to have pertaining to this current academic year and next current academic year. And Marilee will start us off with some scholarship information. If at any time you do have questions, again, like Lynn had said, we'll be here for questions at the end as well. So I'll go ahead and mute and I'll get our presentation started.
Okay, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like Jordan said, I work with her inside Financial Aid's office. I'm the scholarship specialist here at College of the Canyons. I've been here for about 5 years, and this application happens to be my pride and joy. The special thing about this application is it's for COC students only. So your competition is slim. It's not like you're applying across the whole United States or even this whole state of California. Your competition is really just your peers. And the other great thing about the application is you're filling out one application, and it's putting you auto matching you to over 150 different opportunities. So that's rare. Most places you have to seek out specific scholarships that might pertain to you. You have to fill them out individually. It can be time consuming. And I know it's a lot of work, and it can be a little daunting and discouraging because maybe competition is stiff. But this is a great way to get your feet wet, especially if you're transferring to another school or you just need a little bit extra help financially. It also is a great opportunity to, if you're awarded, to be able to put something on a resume later after you're finished with school. Once you're transferring, it looks great on your application for your transfer school application, or even later on in life, it could be something you would put on your employment application. And a lot of my students do that. So I wanted to get started. If you don't know the link, I'll say it slowly. It's canyons.edu/scholarships. If you don't remember that, you can go to the financial aid page, click under types of aid, go to scholarships, and I should be the very top first one with big font and big letters so that everybody knows that that's the one. It's called the College of the Canyons Scholarship Award, and it runs until March 8th. So if you're watching this from a recording, don't try to apply for the scholarship if it's past March 8th. That's the deadline. So everybody, if you don't know about the scholarship, you still have plenty of time. The scholarship application itself takes about 35-40 minutes to complete. So something really simple you could do over this weekend. I'll go ahead and start to talk about what you'll see when you log on to the scholarship. So it's a single sign-on, so it should be really easy and flawless for you to go ahead and log on very easily. The eligibility requirements for the scholarship, it's a minimum 2.0 GPA, and you have to currently be enrolled in at least 6 units for spring semester, and you have to have had prior 6 units before applying for this scholarship. The reason for that is we gather and import information such as your GPA, such as your address, and your major and things like that. So we'll need those existing units in order to base some of that auto match information off of. We don't sell your information. You don't have to buy anything in order to apply. There's no catch here. It's super simple. We just here at Financial Aid just really want to help our students. So once you log on, it's going to ask you a few general information questions, such as, are you continuing next semester at College of the Canyons? Are you transferring? What are your plans? And then you're going to go into a little bit more in-depth qualification questions, such as, did you go to Peachland Elementary School? Are you on the football team? Are you a nursing student? And all of these questions, I encourage you to please answer honestly, because those are going to help auto match you to all these different opportunities. All the scholarships have different qualifiers, and you could be eligible for auto match to several of them. We do tap it at 2 scholarships per student awarded. So you could win multiple scholarships if you apply for this and are awarded. And the reason why we're asking some of these other details is because the specific qualifier on that application, that's the only thing. You have to be on the football team and you have to be transferring. I've had students in the past think it's going to benefit them to maybe slide through and answer yes to everything. But we do verify all the answers, and please, like I said before, I encourage you to just answer honestly, even if you feel like you're going through all the motions and it's no, 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 no. I have so many scholarships that are just simply 2.0 and that you're attending for spring. So don't get discouraged if you don't go to that elementary school, if you aren't on the football team or the golf team or something. Just keep answering honestly, and most people get auto matched to something. The next section of the scholarship is, it's a scary word, but it shouldn't be scary. There's a couple little parts that we call essay sections, but you're not writing some lengthy essay. It's literally a minimum of 200 words. That's easy. You guys write essays and kill it every day in your classes and regular assignments. This is going to be easy peasy for you. The first question that we're asking in the essay is your academic goals and how you came upon your career path of, what choices you made for that career path. Really, all of this should be really easy. You're just simply talking about yourselves and what things have encouraged you to go to school and to choose these majors or to choose this career path. The next little section is called personal achievements, and that's really in school or within your community. It can be awards, memberships, any offices held, performances, sports. So don't think because you were in a play in high school or that you won the spelling bee, or that you were ASG president someplace or something. Still put it down. I say less isn't always better. I think that you should write everything about yourself that is some sort of a personal achievement that you've held. It just shows also a greater commitment and passion about yourself, that you take extra steps and that you're involved in other areas too. The other one is called background influences, and that can be about a specific experience or a specific person or both. For example, if you had a grandma that you were really close to and she unfortunately suffers from cancer, we have scholarships that are for nursing students, for cancer survivors, for all sorts of things. So you can talk about how this experience or that person had influenced you, and write a little bit about that, because these 3 essay sections will be the things that you're going to be reviewed on and scored on. We do ask for volunteers from the faculty every year that review all of the scholarships. They won't see your name. They won't see any private information. What they're going to see about you are these small little essay sections. And that's how they're going to, at a glance, be able to read about you and hopefully get a good feel for you. And then they're going to score from a rubric from 1 to 10, 10 being best. So that's how that works as far as the scoring goes. The director here at Financial Aid and myself, we do not, I just help facilitate the application. I do not pick winners. So it's really, we're not biased in any way. And also if you were to look at the application, we don't even see the person's private information. So it's all really done and hinges on your small essays. There is one optional section after the essays, and that's a letter of recommendation. And how that works is you would request for a faculty member or a professor, a teacher, someone here at College of the Canyons, to fill out a letter of recommendation for you. You don't have to do that. It's just an optional addition to your application. If you have an instructor that you would feel comfortable with, you would just simply enter that instructor's email address, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. The application will trigger an email to that person and give them directions on what to do. They're submitted a form that they fill out. I think it's about 5 questions about the student. So they're not downloading extra pieces of paper, or they don't have to write some big essay themselves about the student. It's a short form that briefly tells the reviewers about you as a student and why they would recommend you being awarded for this scholarship. Completely optional, even if the letter of recommendation person didn't get a chance to fill it out, you're not docked points, nothing happens. It's completely optional, and it's not going to hinder your score. What happens after this, after the deadline, is the reviewers will take about, I think it's 8 days to evaluate everybody's applications and score them. Then at that point, we'll receive a winners list. I will notify you either way. If you were awarded a scholarship, I'll let you know what it is and for how much. And if you unfortunately weren't awarded, then you'll receive a regret email. So either way, you'll receive an email for the outcome of your application. Even though you're applying in spring semester right now, these awards aren't funded until fall. So all of this, if you're worried, I know I have some students that if they're awarded, they've already received all their financial aid funding for spring, and they worry a little bit if this would impact them negatively in that way. And it does not. It's funded in fall, so it's a clean slate. And you'll be on one of the first disbursements for fall semester if you were awarded. The other thing that happens is the way that you're awarded is through Bank Mobile. So if anybody here already has existing, like they've received Pell Grants or student loans, we've really geared toward all disbursements going through Bank Mobile. You can simply log on, pick your existing bank, or choose to use Bank Mobile. So we're on board with the rest of disbursements as far as financial aid. So if you already have that set up and you want a scholarship, you don't have to do anything else. It'll just appear in your account. I think that, I don't remember if I said it or not, but I'll be letting everybody know in April if you are awarded or not. So if you're wondering about when am I going to know the outcome of the scholarship, I'm going to send out all of those emails in April to let everybody know. Does anybody have a question maybe that's coming through chat for me as far as the application process, or any questions about?
Yeah, Marilee, thank you so much. So one question was, what if the units were a few years back, or does it have to be recent? I think they're talking about the 6 units prior.
No, it's okay. Just as long as they've had prior 6 units completed here at COC, they can apply.
Perfect. And somebody asked, is there a cap to the amount of letters of recommendation?
Yes, it's 1.
Okay. And then what if this is their last semester here at
COC? Oh gosh, I'm glad they asked that question. I have a ton of transfer only scholarships. So you don't have to be continuing here at College of the Canyons. And that's one of the questions asked is, are you going to be continuing or are you transferring? So even if this is it for you and you're leaving, I have a ton of transfer scholarships. And so you would just simply let me know what your new school is, and I would send the funds that way, depending on what kind of scholarship you have, or you would receive the Bank Mobile direct deposit.
Perfect, thank you. So this person asked, I just need 2 more classes to transfer, so I'm taking 4 credits only this semester. would that mean I would not be able to apply for the COC scholarship?
Well, the minimum of 6 units enrolled for this is essentially because we do have OSHER scholarships that require 6 units or more in order to apply for the scholarship. So that's a standard that we put on to the application. I still encourage that person to apply because they could be eligible for other scholarships or the transfer scholarships.
They said, another person asked, I have 2 courses left. Would it matter if I take one in the summer and one in the fall versus taking the 2 courses both in the fall? I'm not sure if this question pertains to the scholarship.
Well, if the 6 units currently enrolled that I mentioned before is for what's happening right now. This spring semester, we encourage people who are at least in 6 units for this semester. That's just so they could be auto matched to those special OSHER scholarships that require a minimum of 6 units. After that, if you just have a couple of classes for summer and maybe one in fall, you can still be awarded and use the funding for your fall semester class.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I think those are all the questions for now. Just a reminder to everyone, Marilee will still be here at the end. So if you have more specific questions pertaining to yourself, so that it's not in the recording, if you mind that stuff, then yeah, just wait till the end of the session.
Okay, I'm all set with that. If anybody has any questions for me, you can also email me at the scholarship email address or contact financial aid and they'll relay your question to me. If you're not comfortable asking a question in this in the Zoom, I'm always here. You can shoot me an email and I'm going to be happy to help. So I'll go ahead and pass it over, but I'm still here if anybody has any questions at the end.
I have a question.
Okay.
What do you believe are like the key essential parts of the scholarship that you feel like we should be focusing on much more, like the hardcore?
For sure, those small little sections, those essay questions. I wouldn't hesitate to talk about yourself. I'm not saying to fib, but I'm saying puff yourself up. Let everybody know, let the reviewers know what your passions are, why you chose this career, what your accomplishments are. It really gives them a better sense. If it's just a few sentences, I'm just afraid that you wouldn't score appropriately. You would be selling yourself short. So I would write an essay the best that you can. Sometimes people write it in a Word doc and do kind of a spell grammar check and then copy and paste it over to that section, or they have another set of eyes read over it and make sure that it sounds good and they don't see any errors. But I just say take a little bit of extra time on those little 200 minimum word essay slots, and that's where you'll shine.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
I know you mentioned that if in the case that somebody were to win a scholarship, it's transferred through Bank Mobile. Like in my case, if I were to win a scholarship, do I have to have directly an account with Bank Mobile, or would it still be transferred, like, for example, like how I normally get other financial aid, if that makes sense?
Right. It depends on which transfer scholarship you're awarded. Some scholarship awards that are transferable can be submitted through your Bank Mobile. So whatever selection you chose for your bank, if you chose your existing bank, that's where it would go. Some people, I have to send a physical check over to your new university. So it really kind of just depends on which transfer scholarship you win, how the disbursement would actually go. But along the way, I'll always email you and tell you exactly what you can expect, how the funds will go, what is required, if anything, that you have to submit to me to let me know where to send the check, and then when. So I try to be super transparent and answer all questions according to what scholarship you won, what you can expect next.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Well, I think if that's it for scholarship. Oh, one more question. I can't really read it, but.
So I'll read it for you. There's few. So
Okay.
do you think it would be too late to ask for a letter of recommendation at this time? I can answer that just as a professional staff person, but if it's around 1.5 to 2 weeks, it should be good enough time, Julieta. Yeah, but so it doesn't hurt to ask either. And if they tell you like, hey, I actually can't write one for you, then make sure you have a list of people that you can ask for a letter of recommendation. And another question, I'm currently working on my request for a letter of recommendation. Would I need to separately attach my essays for my professor to view, or would they automatically be able to see them through my online application?
No, the letter of rec is completely separate. They'll receive a form that they fill out about the student. They're not going to submit any kind of separate attachment. They don't have to produce an actual letter of recommendation themselves. They're just answering a letter of recommendation template that we submit to them, as far as if that's what the question is. But no, they won't be able to see your essay. They won't be able to see your application answers. They're strictly going off of what their perception and history of you as a student, how they directly know you.
Yeah, and just another tip, and this doesn't have to do with scholarships, but for any letter of recommendation that you ask from like a professor, it's always helpful to like when you email them, letting them know, hey, I took this class with you. So they kind of have more context of how they know you. You can send them your resume as well, so they kind of see like what other accomplishments you've had as you were taking their class. And I just want to make sure that we answered Michelle's question about if you should write up to 500 or if 200 words is enough.
Well, it's a minimum of 200. And I do believe that it does say max of 500, but that's only because we had to put a numeric number in there during the application build. So I think that there's always going to be a happy medium. Do at least 200 words so that there's some substance there about you and the question that's being asked. But it really doesn't have to be a super crazy long essay either. So whatever you think is appropriate, that's going to be able to portray what you're wanting to have be perceived about you.
All right, I think we're ready to move on to FAFSA information.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody.
Perfect. So hi, everyone. Thank you for joining in. I think we've had a couple more people joining in. So I'm going to present on some FAFSA information for you. There's been a little bit of confusion this year with the application, and I wanted to give you as much information to help if you haven't applied yet or are going to be applying. I wanted to provide some information and hopefully some clarification on questions you may have. So same as when Marilee was posting, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask at the end. Both Marilee and I will be here. So let me go ahead and just scroll into it. So we have currently 2 FAFSA applications open for 2 academic years. So we have 2 academic years currently open. The first academic year, as you can see, is the 21 to 22 application. So this application is going to be for the academic year beginning in fall of 2021. So a lot of students I've come across have filled this out thinking this is for our current academic year. This is actually for the academic year beginning fall of 2021. The next tab that you see over is for our 2020 to 2021 application year. So this is our current academic year, which began in fall of 2020. At any point, once you fill out the application, you have about 3 to 5 business days before we'll get that application. And we received it. One of the biggest things we want students to know is to please continue to check your My Canyons account. not only will it start to shift and show that you've submitted the application, but any kind of additional documentation that we're going to be requesting for will show up through your My Canyons account. And of course, if once you look at that, you have any other questions, you can always give us a call as well. Another side note is if you do need assistance with filling out your FAFSA, please contact us at the financial aid office. We are more than happy to help. It's a very rigorous application. There's 2 academic years now that are going back and forth, and it's a lot of information, and we definitely want to make sure that we help you fill it out to the best of your ability, and that will be all done through a Zoom session as well. So another thing I wanted to point out is there's a couple different options when you do a Fasfa renewal and you start a new FAFSA. I always advise students to do the Fasfa renewal because when you do that, 90% of your information is going to transfer over. And this helps, so you just only have to change your tax reporting year in the event that this happens. Maybe a couple other pieces of information, like if you've moved, if you've gotten married, but doing the renewal transfers everything right over. And so I'll go ahead and jump to the next page. So of course we do have the 21-22 application is open for the next academic year. So the way that I wanted to show students how to check, if you're not familiar with My Canyons, this is how you would go and check to see if your status has been, if your application's been received, if your information is updated, if we're requesting for any documents. Keep in mind right now, our 21-22 FAFSA process is still underway. We haven't started to collect those documents yet. We haven't begun the process. You will receive an email once we have started that process. So right now we're just encouraging students to apply, and we're assisting students with applying at this point. There is no document intake right now. So when you go into your My Canyons account, after you have logged in, under the financial aid side on the far right hand, there's going to be something that says financial aid status. So you are able actually to click on that function, and then right next to it is a screenshot of what shows your financial aid dashboard. So this will show your award letter, any information that we are requesting for, anything that's incomplete. This is the perfect way to track all your documents needed, your status, and kind of see if there's anything that you have submitted and now we need something else. This is the perfect way to do it as well. Another side note is that students can submit their documents several different ways. We encourage students to submit them to our Dropbox, which can be found at either the Valencia or the Canyon Country location, by fax, by mail, or by email. By email, if you're going to be sending any kind of tax document, please don't send it through email, drop it off to our Dropbox or mail it in to us, and we can grab it that way. Okay. So another thing I wanted to talk about in this meeting is something that we offer through the financial aid office that some students may not be aware about. So we have what's called an extenuating financial circumstance appeal. This was something that existed pre-COVID, but because of everything that has happened, there's been so many different life-changing events. We do want to let students know that if you previously were not receiving financial aid and for some reason there was a change in your income, if there was a separation, if your hours were reduced, if you lost your position, we may be able to take a look at what your financial aid situation is now moving forward and be able to see if you're eligible now for aid if you previously weren't, or if you were, you may be eligible for a little bit more. So I highly recommend, if you think that this pertains to you, even if you're not sure, give us a call at the financial aid office, send us an email, and we'll be able to look at your record. We'll be able to talk to you over the phone or through email and kind of figure out what would be the best scenario for you as well. If you have any other questions, concerns, please contact us. We are here to help, especially right now. It's a little difficult because we're not in person for our services at this time, but we are still working our phone lines. We're answering emails. we are here to help you through this. So I've listed our phone numbers, our fax if you wanted to submit any documents. I'm not sure if many of you know, but we have pretty much almost full functioning phone hours. We are Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. But every Tuesday we close from just 2 to 3. And I've also included our financial aid email as well. So if you do have any questions that you're not able to jump on the phone quite yet, you can always send us an email. If you do email us, please make sure it is from your My Canyons email. You cannot email for someone else, like on someone else's behalf. We would need to speak with the student as well. So I think that's pretty much I have for my presentation. So I'm open to any questions. Marilee's still here as well. I'm happy to answer any.
All right, thank you so much, Jordan. I'm gonna stop the recording so that we have time for questions and stuff.